Hey guys, this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News with a Rock and Metal News CD review of the new Judas Priest. The album is Redeemer of Souls and it is out now. It is the 17th album and the follow-up to Nostradamus. This is also the first album without KK Downing, and guitarist Richie Faulkner has taken his place and is on this album. This album here, from what I've heard, they were trying to sound, maybe a bit taking a lot of their older styles or taking a lot of their different types of sounds and throughout the years and kind of incorporating it almost in a way like Black Sabbath did with their new album, is kind of take their whole catalog and add elements of each. And after listening to this, I really think that Judas Priest did that. I think they did that very well, and was really happy to hear the songs and the different sounds that they have on this album. The album opens up with the Dragonaut, and you can, if they're not going to be playing, usually when they open up a concert, they play, the Helion, Electric Eye. If they don't play that, Dragonaut will be probably their opening song. You can just see, Rob Halford walking out saying, "Welcome to my web of steel." It just has that type of a song that, would open up a show. And this could be the opening track, and it's got a nice raw sound. The vocals are great, and it's got a nice catchy chorus. Great opening track for Priest, and it's a classic kind of Priest opening type track. The next song is Redeemer of Souls. I love the cool triplet kick drum beat that drives this track. Reminds me of the song Hell Patrol off of Painkiller, and has a nice, another catchy track as well. It has some great bridges and choruses in it, and the solo really fits the track well. It blends in really good with the track. And number 3 is Halls of Valhalla. This one here has some great drumming on it, a nice bass runs as well. The track opens with a solo, which is always great. I love the tracks that kick in the song and then they light up a short little solo to get the song rolling. And then Rob lets out just this really Rob Halford type scream as well, which sets the track going. And I get the real feeling of almost being on a Viking ship with this one, just going through crashing waves as the winds of Valhalla, blow their fury. And the song really has a nice story feeling behind it, and it's got a really nice musical break in there as well, and some great lyrics. Number 4 is Sword of Damocles. Wow, to me, this has like Black Sabbath inspiration written all over it. This track reminds me of Black Sabbath, almost meets Iron Maiden done by Priest. It's just, I haven't heard this style from Priest for a long time. It's definitely a standout track. Brings you back into sort of the 80s, almost late 70s type feel, and I really like that, the feel of that track. Number 5 was March of the Damned, and I reviewed this earlier, and this track, when it first came out, it kind of reminded me of something off of, maybe Ozzy Osbourne's Ultimate Sin album. It has that kind of a feel to it, and it really has grown on me. I mean, the song it's not super diverse, but it's just, I don't know, it's got this really catchiness to it, and it's a really effective track, and I'm hooked on that one. Number 6, Down in Flames. This track has some nice grinding guitar chords in it. That kind of reminds me of the old Priest, almost from the 80s, almost like, Free Will Burning type stuff. It really brought me back. Definitely an older sounding Priest with some kind of modern lyrics, a real nice combination. It also had a nice musical break in it too, and just some real cool ripping solos that Priest are known for. And Richie Faulkner does really hold up the end of his deal, that's for sure. And number 7 is Hell and Back. It's got acoustic guitar and Halford's low voice mixed together is just pure magic on this track. That's the way it starts off. The bass then cuts in and drives the song along. This had another feeling of real old Priest to me as well. And they made had some nice vocal layering effects in this track. Number 8 is Cold Blooded. This track here has a great guitar effect at the beginning. It almost reminds me of something off like, Screaming for Vengeance, kind of like Bloodstone opens up, the guitar effect like that. Nice halftime feel in the song, and the track moves back and forth, has a lot of space, and it gets really heavy, and it's a real dynamic song. Number 9 is Metalizer. This one here, it's fast, it's heavy, nice double kick song. He lets out a blood-curdling scream. It's one of the darker tracks on the album, and really love the grinding heavy guitars in it. And really, I think that's the standout to this song. It's just really, it's heavy, it's faster, and it's got that real sort of dark grinding sound from the guitars. Number 10, Crossfire. Wow, the blues in this song. If this doesn't bring you back to old Priest, I don't think anything will. This one here, I could picture off of Rockarola, maybe Sad Wings of Destiny. It's just a totally blues-driven riff. The album keeps getting better and better as it's moving on here, and they even speed it up a bit. They kind of move the track up and down from the blues to, some nice hard rock, and it's got some really good bluesy solos in it, so it's really cool. And number 11 is Secrets of the Dead. This one here has the bell tolling at the beginning that gives you a little bit of shades of Nightcrawler or maybe the Sentinel. It's got some nice vocal effects that were used in this one. This one has some really heavy drums, and the drums kind of lag a bit behind the main beat, which gives it a nice feel. And it's almost like a dark anthem for this album, and it's kind of heavy and plodding, and just really like that. Again, it kind of reminded me of sort of like a mixture between the Sentinel and Nightcrawler. And number 12 was Battle Cry. This one here, opening, reminds me almost of Iron Maiden's Wasted Years. It has in a really nice double kick driven track. You can picture a battle, an army going into war. Some really nice standout riffs on that one. And then the last song on the standard edition of the album is number 13, Beginning of the End. This one here, clean guitar opens the track. Rob still can sing as good as anyone from his generation, and this song definitely proves it. To me, it had almost like shades of Beyond the Realms of Death kind of vocals in it, without the heaviness. This track is kind of like I wouldn't just say it's a ballad, but it's a lightest track. There's no real heaviness on it, but man, it's just a really great song, and the vocals and the guitar just polish it off perfect. It's an exceptional ballad to end the album, and it was really good. So those 13 tracks end off the standard edition of the album, and I did make a lot of connections to Maiden and Sabbath, and then the Priest field, but you know what, this album has all of that stuff in it. I think it's Judas Priest in the now, taking you back to the older stuff, and it's got just, I can hear almost like Maiden or Bruce Dickinson singing some of these songs, or Ozzy singing some of these songs, so it really fit in nicely for that kind of the 80s and 90s kind of metal, even touching into the 70s. So really, really well done. I was really impressed. Now, the deluxe edition has 5 extra songs on it. They have a song called Snakebite, Tears of Blood, Creatures, Bring It On, and Never Forget. And from what they said, they created all these songs, and then they chose the songs what they wanted to be on the standard edition. And I think they made the absolute perfect choices to put the 13 songs on the standard edition. The deluxe edition, the 5 songs, I thought they were more of something that you would hear off of like Turbo, or I don't know. I just thought the lyrics were, I don't know. They didn't have as much depth as the lyrics in the main standard edition of the first 13 songs. I thought, I don't know. They were just a little more simpler type of songs, and I just think they made the perfect choice of the 13 songs to be on the standard edition. So if you're a big, huge Priest fan, you want all their collection, you can get the deluxe, and you'll get all the 5 extra songs. If not, and you just want the core 13, they're just the perfect songs. You probably won't be missing too much of the 5 that are on the deluxe. They're not, you know, as I think as well as the ones on the standard. But I'll tell you, Priest did it, and they hit the mark. So definitely check out Redeemer of Souls, and I do feel that this could be one of the better albums this year that has come out. And you know, it's a different genre of music, but I think it's just so well done. This is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News. Thanks for tuning in.